Welcome to my video. My name is Hannah, and today I'm going to show you how I painted this landscape with acrylics. You'll need a surface. I used an 8x10 canvas board, but with acrylic paint you can use paper or a sketchbook or whatever surface you want really. You'll need something to use as a palette. You can definitely just use a piece of plastic. You'll need something to put water in to rinse off your brushes, and you'll need a towel or a cloth to wipe your brushes off. I used 4 different brushes in this video. I used a size 6 angle brush, a 3/8 of an inch angle brush, a little bit smaller than the first one, size 4 round brush, and I also used a size 8 round brush, but this one comes to a really small point, so I used this one for the final details of the painting. You'll need the 3 primary colors: red, a blue, a yellow, and a white.
Let's look at the reference photo. I took this picture on a late afternoon walk around Trout Lake Park in East Vancouver last year. The focal point of this painting is going to be the bright white sun with the dark trees in front of it. If you squint your eyes while you look at the photo, it's easier to see where your lights and your darks are. So we want the bright sunlight in the background to be the lightest part of the painting, and we want the trees and their shadows to be the darkest part of the painting. Okay, so breaking down the scene, our background is our bright sun, the line of distant trees, and the sunlight hitting this grassy field. The midground is our tall dark trees breaking up the sky and the sunlight, and the foreground is the sunny and shadowy patches on the grass. Okay, now you're going to copy your sketch onto your painting surface. I already have mine done. First, I painted my whole canvas with watered down red paint. This is totally optional, but I almost always paint on a red background because I like how the final painting looks with some of the red showing through, which you'll see at the end. For this whole first part of the process, I like to thin my paint down with water until I know for sure that I'm happy with the colors and shapes before I go in with thicker paint. Okay, so now let's actually start. Mix a dark purple with red and blue and darken the trees and the shadows in the foreground. Now mix a bright, cool green with blue and yellow. Paint in all the sunlight grass in the scene. Darken your green slightly by mixing in a bit of blue and a bit of red, then blocking the line of trees in the distance. Looking at the photo, you can see the distant trees towards the middle are slightly lighter, so lighten your green mix with a little white and brighten them up. Clean your brush, then mix some white with a little blue and a little tiny bit of red. Paint in the sky, making sure not to cover any of your foreground trees. Now we're going to draw in our sun. Mix a bright warm yellow with white, yellow, and a tiny bit of red. Looking at the reference photo, you can see how the brightness of the sun washes out the tree in front of it, so we're going to paint in a small circle over top of the middle tree. Going back to your green mix, add in a little bit of yellow and some more white to brighten it up, then use this mix to brighten all the sunlight grass. Mix some dark, warm purple with blue and slightly more red, then darken all the trees. You can add extra little branches here and there. Mix in more blue to make a cooler purple. Paint in the dark shadows on the grass in the foreground. With a clean brush, mix a little bit of yellow into some white. Brighten up the middle of the sun, making sure to leave a small ring of the original color around the edges. I recommend using a smaller brush to do this part, but I'm using my big brush for some reason. Mix a little bit of red into the sun mixture to make a very light orange. Use this color to trace around your sun and blend it into the lighter color at the center. Okay, now I start using thicker paint and I stop mixing water into my paint mixes. Mix a light green with yellow and blue and add a little bit of red to cut the brightness. Use this to bolden all the sunlit grass. To make your painting more interesting, you can mix in a little bit of yellow or a little bit of blue or red here and there to have some different greens around the scene. And mix in white and yellow to brighten it. Paint another layer over the brightest parts of the sunlit grass, towards the back. Mix a light purple with white and a little blue and red. Use this to brighten the spots of path visible between the trees. Now I switch to my round brush. Mix a dark warm purple with blue and slightly more red. Use this to deepen the shadow sides of the trees. Make sure to paint only the left sides of the trees to the left of the sun and the right sides of the trees to the right of the sun. Add some white to the same mixture and make sure the color is on the red side of purple. If your purple is too blue at this point, mix in a little bit more red. Use this to brighten the sunlit sides of all the trees. Clean your brush and mix a little bit of blue into some white. Paint the patches of sky closest to the sun first, and continue to darken the mix with blue and a little bit of red if it's too bright, as you work your way away from the sun. Mix a medium green with equal amounts of blue and yellow, then dull the color with red and lighten with white until you get a dull green color. Use this to define the distant line of trees. Mix a light pink with white and a little bit of red. Paint a thin line down the sunny side of each tree and brighten your pathway if you feel it needs it. Mix a light green with white, yellow, and a little blue. Brighten the background grass and the brightest parts of the foreground grass. Continue going back and forth, adjusting your sunlight and shadows until you're happy with it. Mix white and a little bit of yellow and dot in some little flowers in the sunny patches of the foreground grass. Mix a little bit of blue and red into the same color to get a dull, light brownish color. Use this to dot some flowers into the shadowed patches. With the dark green, swipe in some little flower stems. Now using pure white and your thinnest brush, paint a thin line along the sunlit sides of all the trees and branches. Add bright highlights to your sunny flowers. And that's it, we're all done. Here's some close-up shots of my finished painting. You can see some of the red in the background showing through, and I absolutely love how that looks. Hi again, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you liked this tutorial, I hope it was helpful. Please like this video if you liked it, and leave me a comment. I would love your feedback, so please leave me a comment if you like this video or if you have any suggestions for me to improve things. If you painted along with me and you want to share your results on social media, please tag me. My username on Instagram is HannahRajuArt. I'm also on Facebook and Etsy, a Patreon, and I'll leave all of those links in the description. Thanks again. I hope you liked this video. Bye!